In practice,
I mean, I cannot complain at all. I've won the last 2 races on the bounce, and the first person to do it this year in the championship. So things are starting to come good at the right time of the year, and I'd like to thank everyone that supported me this weekend. I've family friends over here as well, and they brought the Irish flag with them, and for once it brought a bit of luck to me. So it's been a fantastic weekend, and hopefully we can roll this on now to Mosport and get right back in the championship.
Okay, thank you, Peter Dempsey. John Edwards from Cincinnati, Ohio. Do you happen to know in this stadium there were a farm club of the Cincinnati Reds called the Trois-Rivières Aigles for years and years? You should be aware of that.
I had no idea.
Okay, 7. You're number 7, only 2-time winners so far this season. 7 in the championship. Your impressions?
Yeah, well, it's a tough race, especially with the restarts here. The safety car goes in 2 corners before the end, so Peter had the ability to sort of play around with us, and on the first restart I got caught out. He slowed down for the last corner, and I was about to hit him, so I locked tires and, had a bad run on the straight, so Alex was able to pass me, and fortunately the next lap Alex tried to get by Peter, and I was able to take the position back, but the whole race, even though we stayed the same positions for the most of the race, it wasn't easy. Alex was right there waiting for me to make a mistake, and fortunately I didn't make any until he made one. So he made one and fell back, and then I made one and came back to him. So it was a tough race, but I'm glad to come away with P2. We made up some good points in the championship here today.
Thank you, John Edwards. Alex Ardouin de Lafayette, Louisiane. Number 55, you won the last race of the last season, they say. You were on pole at Watkins Glen. 2 podiums, finishes, 2 top 6, and 2nd in the championships. Your comments?
The team gave me a great car today. Mundo does a good job for me. And, we were struggling to keep the rear of the car underneath it. I was fighting the whole time. And, I got around John after he got held up a little bit coming on the first restart, and then tried to make a move on Peter.
Closer, please, because we don't hear you.
Got around John on the first restart, and then tried to make a move on Peter later. And it came in there, and he shut the door, and kind of made a little bit of a bottleneck for a second. John came right back and made a move on me going down into 1. And I just tried to ride behind him and wait until he made a mistake, and then unfortunately I made a mistake first. And just fighting, keeping the rear of the car under control, under braking, going in at 6. And, he pulled away, and then the traffic was working a little bit to my favor, and a couple times I got hung out a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. But, come home in 3rd, it's a good job. I got to thank my sponsors, Oral and Facial Surgery Center, Twister Trailers, and we got a new sponsor coming on board for next race, Johnstone Supply Company. Got to thank my parents, the entire team at Mundell, and thank my driver coach, Chuck West.
Merci, Monsieur Ardouin. Chuck and Chris, you are veterans, and you now have the Masters and Expert Trophy. Chuck, your impressions?
First of all, I'd like to thank people at Three Rivers in Canada for having us. What a great place to come, being from America and coming up here. It's just like being in your neighborhood. It's so much fun. The race went very well for us. It was fairly calm after the start. Had a couple of small battles with Chris and a few other folks. It wasn't quite at pace with the younger kids, but we were very consistent. Rode our laps out. I believe we finished top 10. Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Chris, all the way from Vancouver, coast to coast. Your comments?
It was actually a little bit of a frustrating race. First few laps I was a little conservative and started losing spots pretty quickly, and took me a few laps to sort of get the car under me, and by that point I'd lost a few spots, and then sort of about halfway through the race I got spun around, lost a few more spots by contact in the hairpin, but other than that, once the car sort of settled in, the car was pretty good, and we were able to run some pretty consistent times, but and I got to thank World Speed, my mechanic Lance, my engineer John Olson, and my coach Ron White. We had a pretty good weekend going, and I was a little disappointed I couldn't convert the 6th place qualifying into a better result.
Thank you. Vous remarquez le drapeau de l'Irlande, Irish Free State. This is your native land and you're proud of it. You wave this flag every time you're on the podium.
No, I was lucky. My supporters that came over this weekend brought it with them, and I was lucky enough just to spot it as we left on the truck before we came here. So I waved it and brought it with me.
Now it's time to share a Guinness.
Maybe more than 2.
Or a Kilkenny. Or a Kilkenny.
I think I drank all the Guinness last night as well, so we have to find a barrel or 2.
OK, thank you. Merci messieurs, merci beaucoup. Si vous avez des